Supernatural time. Let's do this.
It wants us to pick up where he left off, saving people, hunting things, family business.
Uh-oh.
Hated that.
Oh. 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 That was a...
This shapeshifter thing's gonna keep biting him in the ass, huh?
Yeah. Whoa.
I love these episodes that start off with
I know.
dude and just major shit.
Yeah. Like, whoa.
Always do that. Nightshifter.
Oh.
You perv.
That's right. Dino. Huh. This is important to the case. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
So you let him into the bank that night, after hours. The thing I liked with the bank wasn't one. I mean, it had its face, but it wasn't his face. Every detail was perfect, but too perfect, you know? Like if a doll maker made it like I was talking to a big blonde doll. This was the example, okay? There was this jewelry store too, and the cops and you guys, I mean, you just won't see it. Both crimes were pulled by the same thing. What's that, Mr. Resnick? Chinese been working on it for years. Part man, part machine. Like the Terminator, but the kind that can change itself, make itself look like other people. Like the one from T2. Exactly. See, so not just a robot, android. Android. What makes you so sure about this? See, I made copies of all the security tapes. I knew once the cops got them, they'd be buried. Here.
Smart. I mean, lucky for them, that's highly illegal.
Watch.
Hey.
Watch him. Watch. See, look, there it is. See, he's got the laser eyes.
It's a shapeshifter.
Ooh.
That's why they had the recap.
Cop said it was some kind of reflected light. Some kind of camera flare. Okay? Ain't no damn camera flare. They say I'm a post-trauma case. So what? Bang goes and fires me? It don't matter. The mandroid is still out there. The law won't hunt this thing down. I'll do it myself.
Ooh.
You see, this thing, it kills the real person, makes it look like a suicide, then it sort of like morphs into that person. Cases the job for a while till it knows the tank is fat, and then it finds its opening. Now these robberies, they're grouped together, so I figure the mystery is holed up somewhere in the middle, underground maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's where it recharges its mandroid battery. Listen very carefully. Because I'm about to tell you the God's honest truth.
You're crazy.
There's no such thing as mandroids. There's nothing evil or inhuman going on out there. It's just people. Nothing else, you understand? The laser eye's just a camera flare, Mr. Resnick. You see, I know you don't believe this, but your friend Juan robbed the bank, and that's... Get out of my house! Now!
Aww.
Uh-huh.
Did you say remand the tapes that he copied? Classified evidence of an ongoing investigation. That's the rest. Are you pissed at me or something? No, I just think it's a little creepy on how good of a fed you are. Come on, we could have at least told the guy Bo he did some pretty legwork here. Android. Except for that.
I mean, he did do like a lot of the work.
Except he's not a hunter. He's just a guy who's done a lot of stuff. If you were to go up against this thing, you get torn apart. Better to stay in the dark and stay on the
I know, but actually, that guy had me almost a little teary-eyed, actually.
Yeah, he's
So
so
like-
believable.
Yeah.
And you know he's
Heartbroken.
right. Yeah.
I
it's
felt so heartbroken for him. Like, oh man, I got misty-eyed.
like- yeah.
If the shifter's anything like the one who knows, they're on a trail. Right, they like to layer them underground, preferably the sewer. How the laborers have been connected so far, right? Surveyed later.
I really hope he doesn't die.
Dean?
No.
Or the guy?
The guy. Hope he doesn't die, and they throw him a bone by the end of this episode.
Yeah, that would actually be really sweet. Yeah.
Because I felt terrible for him.
He can move to the roadhouse and start work as a researcher.
Ooh, In and Out.
Ooh. Routine check.
Why don't you just shoot everyone?
You can't even make anything out. That monitor.
Whoa!
Ooh.
That one's an actual camera flare.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. This guy's like Philip Seymour Hoffman's little brother.
Whoa! Oh, John Candy, what are you doing?
No.
He's gonna think they're shapeshifters.
Ow. Oh. Assault on Precinct Supernatural. Ooh. Oh.
Why do I feel so much for this guy? This is like a real bank robbery. It's like
Yeah.
not robbery, but
It's like a really
hostage
intense
heist.
hostage
Yeah.
situation episode.
Yeah. Damn. This season they have like nearly master genre blending.
Yeah.
It
And
feels
really-
like I'm watching Dog Day Afternoon or some shit.
Yeah. It feels like you're watching a movie. Yeah. Not just a cool spooky show.
Hey, you're hot. He's my brother.
Oh no.
What the hell is that? Great. When it changes form, it sheds its old skin, so now it can be anybody. So weird. Robot skin is alive. Let's consult constraints. It's not a man driven. It's a shapeshifter. Shapeshifter? Yeah. More or less. Has human drives, but in this case it's one. When it generates its own skin, it can shape it to match someone else's features. You know, tall, shorter, so it kills someone and then takes their place. Kills them, doesn't it? What do you do? This. Remember the old werewolf stories? Try to get these guys. Some is the only thing I've seen that's
He feels after right.
Yeah. He got his little moment there. Although he did take a bank hostage, so I don't know what's gonna happen to him ultimately.
Ladies and gentlemen, I love this episode.
I do too. Yeah. And we're not even halfway through it.
I love this episode.
Yeah, this is so well done. Saving people, hunting things. Almost David Duchovny.
Come out yet? This guy locked himself in. Proceed. Nuts? That's just it. I'm not nuts. I mean, I was so scared that I was losing my marbles, but this is real. I mean, I was right. Except for the mandroid thing.
Thank you. No.
What is it? We got the power. It's probably the way of saying hi. Cops. Cops? We weren't exactly a smart criminal about this run, and we hadn't even secured the security guard. Probably call him. Well, I didn't think that. Hang on. Let's just take a breath for a second. Probably got us surrounded. We cut the power to the cameras, and there's no way to tell what the shapeshifter is. Doesn't look good, Ron.
His role has been so wonderful.
She's the shapeshifter.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the show wants me to think it's the shapeshifter.
See, who knows? No, this is the shape.
Never mind. The dude's a shapeshifter.
What the? Where did all these other people come from? Or no, it's not?
No, never mind. I still think she is.
And maybe, like, man down your weapon. I was gonna say, they're gonna get really hot and they're gonna, like, run out of air. No, dude.
They got the power, but the phone still work.
Yeah. Hey man, it was an older school days.
He's gonna be chilling right there on that one.
Yeah, just right away. Oh,
He did kill someone and take their.
yeah.
It's the guy who's helping the dude with the heart attack.
Could be.
Maybe there's two shapeshifters.
Yeah, that could also be.
What's going on? Ooh!
Oh. Yeah.
Don't go in the light. Don't go in the light. Don't go in the light!
No. No. Oh. Oh.
Well, we got both.
Yeah.
And he died and was rewarded.
Yeah.
Ron.
You shouldn't be back here right now. You're in danger. Go back to the vault. Now.
Sam throwing the authority in this episode. Ah. Nice.
Excuse me?
I love this cliche.
Yeah.
Always stepping on their turf. I love that cliche name.
Lance Henriksen.
The world is expanding.
Or does he metaphorically mean Dean?
Oh.
Because those police sketches or whatever.
Why did he have Dean then expose himself?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is Special Agent Victor Hendricks. Yeah, listen, I'm not really in the negotiating mood right now. Good, me neither. It's my job to bring you in the lives of opponents, but not necessary. Works for a federal agent, understand? Well, you're not the typical suspect, are you, Dean?
Ooh.
You and Sam out here unarmed. We come in, and yes, I know about Sam took Bonnie to your client. Yeah, well, that part's true, but how'd you even know we were here? Go screw yourself, that's how I knew. It's become my job to know about you, Dean. I've been looking for you for weeks now. I know about the work in St. Louis, I know about the maniac patrol in Baltimore. I know about the desecrations and the thefts. I know about your dad. Drop a crap on my dad. Ex-Marine. Raised his kids on the road. Cheap motels, backward cabins. Real paramilitary survival stuff. I just can't believe
Uh,
back when it was white supremacist Timmy McVeigh tornado came out. We're not talking about my dad like that. He was a hero. Right? Sure sounds good. You have 1 hour to make a decision or we come through those doors full automatic.
1 hour. That's a good amount of time, I think.
yeah, this is not that much longer than the episodes.
I don't know. Never mind.
You don't know these Winchesters. You're dangerous, smart, and expertly trained. Can't risk the lives of all those people. Trust me, Dean's a greater risk to him than we are. Street noise and crazies in there. And I just hung up on him.
So there's 2 shapeshifters.
Sherry now. See?
We're gonna let you go. It's a show of good faith from last week.
I'd rather stay here.
What? What is happening? Or is this some kind of act? Oh no.
There it is.
Yeah. No.
And shapeshifters like grab clothes too or something.
I guess.
It just laid there and pretended to be dead the whole time.
Yeah,
They could have got it out.
That's like, hey man, that shapeshifter's thinking on its feet. Oh.
He's just crouching.
He's on a pipe.
Ooh.
Ouch. Whoa! Samuel. Ah. Ow.
Ew.
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 Ow! In the nutters. In the testicles and the face. Ah.
Oh god, that designs on the arm.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that was really Sam taking out two SWAT dudes too.
I guess they can shapeshift cut around the throat.
Well, yeah, if they're just inhabiting a skin. Oh. I swear I've seen this FBI guy before. Trying to figure out from what. Huh. Oh, I get it.
What? That was Dean.
Yeah.
Who? Wait, how'd they?
Sam took out those two SWAT guys and stole their clothes. He's the
Yeah.
guy who came up on Dean in front of the chick, and he probably gave him a costume.
They still save the day.
Yeah. Unsung heroes.
That was great.
This episode, yeah.
That was amazing.
That
That was
a showstopper.
that was fucking incredible, that one. I loved pretty much everything about this episode.
Yeah.
From beginning to end. It was just wow. That's one you gotta like digest a little bit.
Yeah, because it really
Republican.
feels like you saw a movie just then, you know?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Really does.
Like, even in just something about, the overall, like, quality of how they shot it, what they chose to focus on, how they wrote it, you know?
When they went to by the time they got to the bank, like something about the film grain and the quality that they used to it, it looked like they didn't have all this music playing, especially when Ron first shows up.
Yeah, it's very stark.
That's why I thought Dog Day Afternoon, because
Yeah.
Dog Day Afternoon is like that bank robbery movie that has no music, so you feel all this tension, and like the character of Ron was someone who, like, I found myself getting misty-eyed for this guy because he's just so convicted of this belief. He's been getting wronged, and then Sam tries to do the right thing by cutting him down, but you just see how heartbroken he is because he thought for the first time he might have some people who believe in him who could help him out. And
he might not be crazy.
Yeah, then he just gets shot down, this heartbroken guy, when, like, we know he's not that far off.
Yeah, well, I was sitting there during the first part of the episode going, he's basically done most of the work for
Yeah, it's
them,
like,
and they even acknowledge that. You know?
It's not a mandroid, it's just a shapeshifter, and having that element there with Ron, just that the way they handled his character was so well done. Of this guy, you're like, all right, maybe he's gonna come back around, and he shows up, and he's this guy who's just trying to do the right thing, and he shows up and holds the bank hostage. You're like, oh, what are you doing, dude?
Like, I get you, but no, this is not the way.
But this, like, quality directing and writing of when he does learn the truth of the shapeshifter and how he feels like a little bit happy and proud of
like
it.
vindicated, you know.
Like you do get both those things predicted of just usually it's one or the other, but this time it's like, oh, he does get the reward of having his beliefs validated, but then also getting killed, which was so heartbreaking. This felt like, I love the heist genre. This wasn't exactly a heist or a bank robbery episode in terms of what they were actually doing.
It's still a monster mystery at the core, but it
Yeah.
definitely borrows those
But it
elements.
Borrows the genre of bank robbery, heist, hostage situation.
Yeah, it
It's
drops
like-
an episode of Supernatural into that situation, basically.
Like similar to what they did with the quarantine episode with the town.
Yeah.
This time they did it in this, like, really isolated location. It was just wonderfully executed. Like
It was really
the
tense.
tension. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to use. Yeah, yeah, like the tension throughout. It wasn't like this like terrifying horror, but it was so suspenseful, and like I was so gripped by like how is this going to go down? The mystery of them trying to solve it, how the stakes just kept getting worse. The only thing I didn't care for, which got better, was the cliche of like the kind of cops that show up.
FBI guys show
FBI
up. And they're
fence
all cocky,
takeover, yeah.
and dick about everything. And,
The only thing that made that a nicer turn was the feds being like, we saw that it was Dean Winchester.
Yeah,
It was the Winchester brothers, and you're hearing how the Winchester reputation is starting to climb up through the federal, feds. Yeah.
And it makes the intro of that character slightly better, because then it's like, oh wow, like this super cocky, confident guy who also who actually has a significant, oppositional piece toward the Winchester puzzle. It really does kind of enhance just his antagonist type, positioning toward them. And also, I mean, just throughout this episode, I thought that I don't know. I had a point, and then it just left my brain because I'm still processing.
John, we're supposed to do these in one.
I know.
Take.
I was like, I had it, and then it left my
We're
mind.
supposed to do this in one take. You better get it back right now, John. I cannot throw in a jump cut here. I will not.
Oh,
I
no,
do
you
not.
can't. You shouldn't.
I shall
You shouldn't.
not.
Definitely not. It's also just credit, I think, to the performances.
I will
because, because too, I mean, like going back to the Ronald character and stuff like that, like that actor really did
Amazing.
a very nice job of
Amazing.
selling all those moments and selling the weird nuance of the position that character's in. Yeah. And I thought even though the most of the other hostages don't really have much to do to a different degree, they all kind of brought that also.
I love the complicated situation the hostages were in because first they see Dean as a hero, then he's not a hero, then they look like they're contributing to it, and they're just trying to keep them safe, but now they think that they're keeping them hostage as well, and that they're part of the robbery. Like the way this all just kept tumbling was really well written, and I think the setup of Ron going into the light, because I'm like, when they said that line of like, Ron, look out for the light, I didn't think that was like a foreshadowing he's gonna die. But the second he's going after the shapeshifter and he's in that light, I was like, right there, go like, don't go in the light. What are you doing? Don't go in the light. Yeah.
Well,
and it's understandable that he would forget to not go in the light because you're so caught up in the moment of the thing I've been hunting is here. Go get it. So even in that choice, it's not like, Ron, you're an idiot. Like I would probably make the same mistake in a situation like that when I'm like, no, that's the thing I'm trying to hunt.
Yeah, that's my one opportunity, and I loved even just little stylistic things in there, like the way Sam calls out his name, but we don't hear the audio of that. Yeah, just like I really get. I'm trying to figure out what it is, because what's nice about Supernatural is that over time there are some episodes that feel like, oh, this is another episode of a TV show or whatever, but a lot of them do have a movie-like quality. And it does seem like maybe part of that is, changing up and really morphing your shooting aesthetics to each different episodes.
Well, I feel like they really study the genre that they're riffing off of, or the one that they're splicing. Because those are always the ones that feel like a movie.
Yeah.
Are the ones where it's very evident what they're splicing here, And what, like with the quarantine one, with like Sam, he might die, he's infected, and having that heartbroken, like that's very quarantine zombie like thing. And then here you everything that happens here that I've seen in like heist movies, but having that supernatural angle that they're not really robbing a bank. That really they're just trying to hunt a guy who's trapped in here with the rest of them. Just made for a super compelling episode. I love the way this whole episode was shot, and I was a little bit confused. You had to explain it to me with how they got out of there, but I like how they didn't do some like
They really do.
They didn't Da Vinci Code flashback it for me. Or I'm like, here's how they got out. It's like you have to piece it together, and then like you piecing it together helped. I was like, all right, I get it now. Yeah.
And I thought that was a nice little visual thing, and I think throughout too, it makes the episode rewarding because it is sort of like, like they really do got to figure their way out of this, and it's a nice switcheroo because you think Dean's fucked in that moment. And I think what the episode has overall that's so great, that is kind of the key element of a lot of heist and robbery movies and stuff like that, is that tone throughout that, like, shit's really hit the fan. Like, this is really a situation that is dire and out of control, and I don't know how it's going to pan.
Well,
like Reservoir Dogs has that. Like a bunch of different...
It's very tense because I think more than the quarantine episode, maybe more than any other episode they've done, this feels like it's... Once you're at the bank, you're pretty much in real time from there on out for like a solid half hour.
You cut outside maybe once or twice, but you're in the immediacy of the situation.
Yeah, you're not jumping ahead in time for a good portion of this episode, and I think because of that element is why it's so, which is like Dog Day Afternoon in a lot of ways. Even though that does time jump and span several hours, they do spend a lot of that movie just. In one specific and I adored. This is one of those episodes I'm just never gonna forget because
now every other episode's gonna be about them versus the FBI.
And I really think it's clever how they've had this whole element of how they've slowly been building up Dean as a fugitive. And always kind of mixing that in a different genre whenever this really comes to bite him in the ass,
and having there be consequences and having other people notice their presence in the world.
Because I think if I remember like the first few episodes of Supernatural, like in the first 10 it would fluctuate for us where we'd be like, this is whatever to this is pretty cool, this is whatever, it's pretty cool. I remember the Shapeshifter episode being one of the highlights of that was one of the first, other than the pilot, that was one of the first great episodes of season 1. And then this maybe they haven't like been encountering the shapeshifter since, but like that episode of Linda Blair had all that. It was coincided, his history, and then this, like how this whole shapeshifter thing has just been this element that has been fucking them in the ass for so long,
Yeah. And I like that it had a different, because like at the top of the episode with the tease, you almost think, and I love how that cuts into the recap, the news special, like it really is just breaking news, and you see Dean at first, and I thought that was going to be like, oh, Dean's going to be the shapeshifter again, like he's going to pull the same trick, and I like that they didn't go to the same trick.
This show's very good. It's become great at being less predictable.
Yeah.
Because and they toy with what they think audiences are going to be predicting. Like when I said, "Oh, the girl's a shapeshifter."
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Oh, well, no, they want me to think the girl's a shapeshifter." And I feel like the show's just so good now that they even got to the point where they're like, "No, we're gonna have a scene where it's gonna really look like she's the shapeshifter."
Yeah, we're gonna try something different with that. Even that though,
because that mystery element, like, what the fuck is going on? Why are there, like, she fainted? This doesn't make sense.
Because even that's
she wasn't the shapeshifter.
Yeah, like now the shapeshifter's trying a new tactic. Like, oh, smart.
Yeah. That is brilliant. Mm-hmm. Like that the level of awareness of what they know, how their audience, and for only a second season to 12 episodes in, you'd think like by now the formula that they would have been able to predict of how the audiences would think and view things would be like a third season. Yeah. But to be 12 episodes in their second season, I'm like, that's the way they are with knowing how their audience is going to predict things and how to toy with those predictions. It's fucking amazing writing. That's like amazing writing to me.
And also having certain things unfold in ways that just feel kind of natural. Like, like, oh, this is probably the mess that would come out of these people all being together under these circumstances, not just, oh, the plot needs us to go here,
Yeah.
So they're good at especially even with the supporting characters, making it not be, you get your info dumps, but you also get a lot of, little lived-in moments.
I often will say, whenever there's a great episode, one that I'm just hooked in from beginning to end, this is the best episode of the season. Yeah. I'm tempted to say that right now. I feel like, oh, but what if there's one that comes up in one of the next 12?
Just up until this point, this is one of the best.
Up until this point, this is one of the best, for sure. Yeah, this was... man, the intensity of it, and how it didn't rely on. What I loved about it was so in camera for most of what they relied on to make this tense. It's like, you had some really sharp editing and cool cinematography, but I feel like a lot of the time to really amp up intensity, it's like, oh no, you got to do some like trick editing. You got to do some cool music cues,
visual
cool
chaos.
Attention. Yeah, you got to do like a lot of different things. But I'm like, no, really, it's just like capturing the script.
Yeah. And letting little moments play. Like there are certain moments of tension even that are just holding on somebody's face as they look around. Yeah, really putting you in the shoes of the moment, literally putting you in the room.
Yeah.
And it's terrific.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I love this episode.
Yeah,
this was amazing. This was amazing. Yeah.
Roll it again.